Welcome to Pennsylvania in Focus. I'm Anthony Hinnon, Pennsylvania reporter for the Center Square. Joining me today is the Center Square's Pennsylvania editor, Kristen Smith. Kristen, you wrote a story looking at Pennsylvania college students and the costs they face, especially surrounding food and food insecurity. What can you tell us?
So research shows that more than a third of college students actually drop out of school because they can't afford to eat. And so this is a problem that predates the pandemic, of course, but it's obviously worse now. And so as support has grown for providing free breakfast and lunch for school children, state reps want to see the governor's administration make the same sort of investments for college students. We know that there's a lot of children whose only meal of the day comes while they're at school, and those same children graduate and then they go off to college, and then there's nothing for many of them. So last year, actually, former Governor Tom Wolf's administration began an initiative that was called the Hunger Free Campus Initiative. And what it was we were giving state money out in the form of grants to colleges that applied for it. And they would use that money to run their own food pantries or connect students with food pantries in the community, or even sign them up for meal delivery services. And there was about 18 colleges last year that applied for this and got money. And we're talking colleges big and small. You have some in the state system, like, IUP, Westchester, you've got the University of Pittsburgh, you've got Penn State, all of them applied and got money for this initiative. So it's something that is been addressed in a beginning fashion, let's say. I think last year they invested about $100 million into this program, but in Governor Josh Shapiro's newest budget, the program is flat funded. And so it's something that state reps addressed with the Department of Human Services at their budget hearing this week. They want to know where the governor's administration is at on maybe boosting this funding for this program, because as we've reported on extensively, the benefits cliff for millions of Americans has arrived, and a lot of people are now losing access to the public assistance that they had during the pandemic. And so college students are among this group of people. And before the pandemic, and we had expanded benefits and we had a moratorium on kicking people off public assistance, college students struggle to qualify anyway. So there is really, truly a gap for these low-income students who are trying to make it, in the next step in their career, but simply can't afford basic necessities.
And this also seems like it's not necessarily tied to tuition costs, though we know that Pennsylvania, compared to other states, has higher tuition. But this is really close to just the general high cost of living for students. Is that true? It seems like community colleges, it seems like it's a bit more of a problem compared to four-year schools, yes?
Yes, research shows from 2021, actually, there was a survey published by the Hope Center for College, Community, and Justice. And this survey is widely referenced when talking about this issue. In fact, I reached out to the Community College Association of Pennsylvania and the Pennsylvania State System of Higher Education to discuss this. Both of them referenced this survey, in which 39% of respondents attending two-year universities, so college, community colleges, and 29% of students at four-year institutions experienced food insecurity in the 30 days prior. So that information was collected around the fall of 2020, so right in the middle of the pandemic. The center said that the survey is likely not capturing the full scope of the problem, given the fact that enrollment declined so steeply during the pandemic. And a lot of that was tied to costs, like you said. Not only does Pennsylvania have some of the highest tuition costs in the region, but we were hit with really, our COVID cases were very high. Our travel and economic restrictions were very tough compared to states in the region. And so a lot of people were forced to drop out of school just to make ends meet, and some weren't able to go back. So it's kind of a starting point and a little bit just a peek into how big the problem is. So what that means, though, is that as we come out of the pandemic, as we reset, we get a new normal, there's still a population of students who could access public assistance benefits. But the center says that their research shows that up to 52% of those students who do still qualify, they don't even know about it. They don't have any understanding of the system. They don't know how to access it. So there is a lot more that the state could do to step in and help these students, find food, find, access to basic necessities. That's why DHS is saying, yes, we can do these things, but, we would need more money at the state level to make it happen.
Listeners can keep up with this story and more at thecentersquare.com. For Kristen Smith, this is Anthony Hinnon. Please subscribe, and thanks for listening.